We just finished talking about artist Mary Blair, and we will be making a castle similar to the ones that she made. Um, so what we'll do is we'll get a white sheet of paper and create something that looks like this. On your table, you're going to have some reference sheets of different designs for your castle, how to make the clock face that's on her castle, the different domes and spires, which are these things that hold the flags up and stick off the top of the dome. So some more domes there. And then a sun, of course. And if any of you get done early, we'll have a Mary Blair coloring sheet. So let's get started. So on your paper, I will go ahead and make some marks for you along the edge. So what you will see when you get your paper are some marks that I have made with my pencil or marker, probably pencil. And I'm going to space them out a couple inches with my ruler here. And we'll try to put around 4 marks at the bottom of your paper. And then on the side, we'll do about 4 or 5 of them as well, so that you can use them as a guide. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. So we're going to make one, let's say we'll do one there. And I'll have this ready for you when you get your paper. So these marks will be along your paper. Okay? So her pictures had a lot of squares and rectangles in them, lots of geometric shapes. We're going to try to recreate that. So using your ruler, we're going to lay the ruler and line it up with these marks that you'll have on your paper. We're going to hold our ruler still and make a line that goes across the bottom. We're going to line it up over here on the left side and make a mark that goes almost to the top. So now we have a corner. Now we're going to start turning these into squares and rectangles. So I'm going to line my ruler up with this first mark. And I'm going to make this a really tall tower. So I'm going to go all the way up even with this first line I made. And I think I'm going to make this one just as tall. We'll just make the tops of them a little different. So now we have 2 columns. This next one I'm not going to make quite as tall. I'm going to line it up with the next one. And I'm going to only go up to about where this line is. Okay, so it's even with that one. And then the last column, let me line it up here with my mark. Make it as straight as I can. See if it's parallel to this, going kind of in the same direction. And I'm going to make it go up so that it matches this next to last line. So about right here. So I have several different sizes of towers, okay? And we'll pause this video whenever we need to as we're following along. Okay, so I'm going to make a block here. I line this up with my mark over here on the left. I'm going to skip this section and I'm going to do one here and here. So now I have 3 squares at the bottom. I'm going to repeat that same step, lining it up with this mark. One here and in the last 2. Okay. Now, I'm going to go along this side on the left and make a square here. And then I'm going to put one here in the last column. And I notice this doesn't go up far enough, so I'm going to make that meet. If you need to do that, you can do that too. And then we're going to draw one across here and here. And we're going to finish this one at the top. And I may have to finish this up a little bit. We'll connect those. And there we have some squares, mostly squares, and one rectangle. So I have 11 squares, and then my 12th is a rectangle. So now that I've got all those drawn out, now I can start adding designs inside the squares, and I can add some domes and spires to the tops of my towers, okay? So let's say, for example, that I want to do this one here, or something similar to it. If it doesn't look exactly like it, that's okay. We're going to see if we can copy it the best we can. Okay, so there's that. If I want to put, let's say I want to do this triangle one. And I can use my ruler for the triangle or just draw it. So there's how we do our domes and spires. And you should be able to fit one on all 4 towers. These over here will have to be a little bit shorter, of course. Okay, but you can still fit them on there. And then inside your blocks, we want to start doing some of these castle designs. So on one sheet, it shows some windows. On the number 1 sheet, it shows windows and doors. So we want to put at least a couple windows and 1 door. In this rectangle is where we're going to put our door. So you can choose a door from these in this column. I think I'm just going to keep it simple and do this one. So I'm going to make the round top. So I'm going to round it off in the corners. I'm going to draw a line down the middle. And my doorknobs. Just going to keep it simple. And then I want to do some windows. And you can put windows wherever you want to, maybe 2 or 3. I'm going to put one here. And then I might put, let's see. I might put one here. And you can choose from the windows. There's a column that shows you different window designs that would have been similar to Mary Blair's. Here's one that I used. There's even a circle window. So whichever kind you want to use, if you want to put one here or up here, you can certainly do that. Wherever you would like to put a window. And then in the remaining squares, I want you to put in each and every square a different design from these 2 sheets. So you can look at these, pick one out you like this one, and copy it in one of your squares. Okay? Pick ones that you think you can draw. If it's something simple, great. If it's something a little more complicated, a little more challenging, go for it. Until you've got them all filled up. Okay? So when you get them all filled up, you've got everything drawn inside your castle. The next step, and notice I did not put anything here. I want to save that spot for my clock. Because on her most famous one that she did for It's a Small World, she did do a clock face. There's a sheet all about the clock face. You're going to start up here with these directions and draw these basic things. If you want to turn it and tilt it, you can. And then as you go down through here, you can pick eyes, add the bottom part of the nose, add some cheeks, and for the final thing, you can put a design inside the triangle that's on his head. And so I would do that, all of those steps in here. These are the basic steps that are at the top of the sheet. and and then we would go back and find some eyes and things that we want to put in there. So there's the basic steps there. Then we find some eyes we like. We find a nose ending that we like. We make some cheeks. And a design in the triangle of your choosing, okay? So we've got our clock. The last thing we're going to do is add a sun. And this is after I've filled all my squares and done all my domes and spires. So the sun sheet shows you how to start. You're going to start with a circle. Then you're going to add a nose, one of these noses. Add some eyes. Then add a mouth and cheeks. And then some sun rays. And wherever you can fit your sun is fine. If you can fit it here, that's perfect. If you can't and you need to put it somewhere else, you can put it somewhere else. And I'm just going to pick from my sheet here like I'm having you do. And I forgot my cheeks. Let's see. Let's do some cheeks. Here we go. And then I'll finish my sun rays. And there we go. Now, once you've got everything drawn in there, like you want it, you've got designs in every section. Next, we'll be ready to color. So when we color, first thing I'm going to have you do is take a black Sharpie and trace over your pencil marks. Now, if there's an area that's really small, like the clock face, and you can't get in there and you need help, let me know. If you're afraid to mess it up, because this was a little challenging for me, so I thought it may be challenging for you. Once we get everything traced with black, then we're ready to color. So to color, we're going to color in the same style Mary Blair colored in. She used different tints and shades of colors. Tints are the lighter versions. Shades are the darker versions. So to do that, I chose for us to use markers along with crayons. And so if you do purple, you'd want to color part of the stuff in the square or rectangle with a purple marker. That's the shade, the darker areas. And a purple crayon for the tints, which is the lighter areas. And yes, I do want you to do that. So in each square or rectangle or spire or dome, you can choose a different color. Even your sun, okay? And it doesn't have to be a normal color. It can be a fun color. And when you get that completed, you will be done.